back with our next fab project. This is a FD RX7. This is the second or third RX7 I've done for this set of customers. They usually bring down their cars from South Alabama, North Florida. I think the last one I did was the FC RX7. It was just some charge pipes and an intercooler modification. But this particular one is a long list of fab parts that need to be made. It was originally quoted for an intercooler and charge pipe set, which is pretty basic, a quick turnaround fab project. But as it got here, the list got substantially longer. First up on the list is to get the cooling situated on the car. They supplied this brand new Koyo radiator with a set of Spall fans. But this radiator isn't going to sit in the standard position where they sit angled in the car. They wanted to sit in completely vertical to accommodate everything else. So the first part I have to make is a tray for it to bolt into, which I've already made. I'm about to go hit it with some paint because I did make it out of steel, so I don't want it to rust or anything. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and get that painted, and then I'll show you close up the bracket, because it seemed like it'd be a common part at this point in time, since this swaps or converting to single turbo was so common. But I didn't really see a readily made aftermarket tray out there that looked, decent, which is a really simple part, so it's kind of strange. But anyway, I'll put some paint on this and show you it and bolt it up into the car, and we'll go from there. While I've got a coat of paint dry on that bracket, I want to show you, he also sent him a set of brand new OEM Mazda radiator hoses, hoping that with the new positioning I could adapt the inlet outlet on the radiator to make these hoses work. But fitment is so far off, I'm not even going to open these. The best solution to this problem is for me to go ahead and make a set of radiator hard pipes like I would if it was, say, like a Supra. I do an upper hard pipe. I'm going to do the same thing for this. I just have to call them and get the go-ahead with the cost or whatever, but there's really no other solution. So I'm going to position this in and kind of lay out in my head the hard pipe routing for both the upper and the lower, and I'll go from there. But I'll go ahead and put a second coat of paint on this and show you the bracket close up. Okay, I've got the bar painted and dry. As you can see, it's very simple in design. It's just a straight bar that I bent in the brake, cut it to fit, drilled it to fit the subframe, or I'm sorry, the frame rails. And I also added an extra tab because this car does have AC, and they just had the condenser zip tied up, so I made a tab for one side of the condenser to bolt up to the same bar, so it should all fit and be sturdy and not have any kind of shaking or rubbing. So I'll go ahead and bolt this back on and show you it on the car. Now you can see the radiator sitting in the car how it needs to be, but it's got the upper lean back because there's no bracket at the top. I went ahead and made a pair of side mounts that'll bolt to the top of the frame rail as well, which these will get the radiator back perfectly vertical and sit secure how it needs to be in its final resting place. So I'll go ahead and get the PVC pulled off these because I just cut and made them a few minutes ago, and get them wiped down, and I'll bolt it in place, and I'll show you the final position of the radiator so I can see how I need to make the radiator hoses. Alright, you can see now the radiator's in the car. It's all secure, tight. So what I'll do now is lay out how I want to build the radiator hoses. These are all little things. They're big things in the grand scheme of things, but they're all things that have to be laid out before I can actually even get to making the charge pipe kit. Along with that, this intercooler is coming off. This is a Godspeed or something. I think it says Godspeed, right? Yeah, Godspeed intercooler. I'll be building a custom intercooler for this car using a 22 by 9 by 4 inch Garrett core, so it'll flow plenty and fit, actually fit better while getting an inch wider than what's on it now. So yeah, that's basically it for right now. I should have the core here in 3 or 4 days. I'll get with the owner and go over the coolant hose option, and we'll go from there. So thank y'all for checking it out. There's a lot more to go on this car, and I'm actually using my camera, so the quality has changed, and I'm getting used to the different operation just to bring better videos, better editing. So bear with me on that. But again, I appreciate it. Thanks for checking it out.